And the alligators build their nests. They're usually building in these little green trees. You call that a cereal tree. And all that marsh it sits on, it's a float on. No matter how much rain and flood water you have, the whole land floats up. Some of that place you can walk on it. Some place you sink up to your neck. You got to know where you can walk and where you can't. You gotta kind of, I don't know.
I know. Show how you poke through it.
You gotta know how you walking it. It's like a big floating mat. Like I said, one step you can be up to your ankles, next step you can be up to here. So you gotta kind of feel your way around.
Show what happens if you bust through.
No, kid, you just see right here. We just hands deep, but if you push down, you go all the way down. These cereal trees, they use it for covering duck blinds. When I was a kid, my dad was a commercial fisherman. You take a bunch of them, put them on a trout line, and they catch the buster crabs that you used to make soft-shell crab. They'd go in there hot so the fish wouldn't eat them. Just come with a big net, shake the bushes, you catch the crab, put them in holding tanks, and shut them out.
It's actually a wax myrtle tree. In the old days, they get a pot of boiling water, they throw the leaves in there, the leaves will sink to the bottom, the waxy film off the leaves would float to the surface. They gather that and make candles out of the wax from the wax myrtle tree.
There's a female, huh?
Yep.
No, come on, Alice. Come on, Alice.
Example of how good the alligators blend in.
Shake your hand in the water, Jad, with some food.
That's a good example of how good they blend in. If that alligator wouldn't have moved,
come on, Alice.
We'd have never seen it.
Come on, Alice. Oh, that's not Alice. Might be. Come on, Alice. Throw a chunk. Right by. Yeah, okay. Now shaking the water.
Now she's coming.
Come on, Alice. Yeah, that one actually don't have no teeth. We was filming that program Wife Swapping here, and she climbed over my big alligator's back to steal his chicken, and he grabbed it. I thought he killed her. You could hear the bones crunching, and ever since then she lost her teeth, and she'll have her eggs every year, but they never hatch.
That ain't Alice.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's Alice.
Now, how do you tell the difference between the two of them?
I just know it.
Used to see
you know it. Yeah, like a kid or anything else. She ain't got no teeth.
Yeah, check that out.
Throw it in there, Chad. Don't aggravate it. Give another piece.
No teeth. I still don't think I want to stick my fingers in.
Oh yeah, she actually stole some babies from another female last year. Hers never hatched, but she stole them. They're just starting to feed right now. Everything's cold. The water's still cold. They're not moving around much right now. It should be out sunning itself. The body temperature would be a lot warmer. Should be a lot more active. Yeah. But everything's still cold right now. It'll be another 2-3 weeks warm weather before they start getting real active.
So what she is, about 6 or 7?
But yeah, if you measure the distance between the nose and eyes, whatever it equals in inches equals in feet.
Oh, is that right?
And you can tell a female by the width of the head. The female's head's a lot narrower than the male. You can't tell that until they reach about that size. Once they reach that size, the male's head gets a lot wider. That's about the size. When we harvest them, we try to keep at least 6 foot or better to make the most money we can with our property. With alligator farmers, are just opposite. They'll keep that size and under, because the bigger you get to the farm, the more it costs them to feed it. And the way you regulate that when you fish them, you just hang your bait high where the little ones can't reach it. Get it that size, you pop on top of the head, 22 magnums, all you need. If you shoot a big one on top of the head, it takes at least a 357 9mm, something to that caliber to penetrate the hard spot. It's like almost a half inch thick of boom. On a big one, you either shoot them in the eye socket or you shoot them in the soft spot behind the head.
Yeah, you couldn't possibly get to the side, get her in the sun, huh?
Try to throw it on bank, see if she comes, Ted.
That's what I was trying to get her to climb up.
Just throw a bunch of it on bank. I want to put something for Al right there anyway. You can just throw it on bank.
So we got frog legs.
Usually she just downs that. She's looking for the next bite.
Yep. Some deer.
Man, that alligator eating better than I am,
You
man.
know,
I mean, frozen pizza
I'm
tonight.
telling you, I can't believe my wife let frog legs go. That's one of my favorite foods, frog legs, and she let that go bad. It was in the back of the freezer, and she didn't cook it right away.
So
it got old.
How old do you figure an alligator like that is?
I'd say about 10, 8, 9, maybe 10 years at the most.
And how long do they live generally?
Yeah, 60 years old, 50, 60 years old.
Oh, really? They live that long?
They'll grow about like the little ones we play with. They'll grow about a foot a year till they're about that size there. And once they get that size there, they start growing less and less. Once they're 12 foot, they'll only grow an inch, maybe a few inches a year, and they'll start doubling in width. They don't grow much in length. They start getting big in body size, kind of.
Like me,
Same thing like humans. We don't get no taller. We start getting water. Same,
right.
same principle. Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's absolutely
Yeah,
beautiful.
once they warm up and start getting a lot more active, a gator that size there, 7-foot alligator like that, could jump 4 feet out of the water with no trouble at all.
Yeah, they spring up with their tail.
Oh yeah,
huh?
right now where she's facing right now, she got a hole underneath that hill over there, and that's probably where she's gonna go in a little while. She's gonna go right back and get in the hole for tonight. Then the sun comes out tomorrow she'll be right there.
That's an old nest right there on the left.
Let me throw some of this out on the hill right there.
Yeah, you see our autographs are flattened out. That's not from that little female. That's from Big Al. Big Al's over 13.
Last time we measured Big Al, it was about 2 years ago, and he was right at 14 foot. And that was 2 years ago, so I'm guessing he's over 14 foot by now.
Now, Arthur, I'm gonna ask a dumb question. How does one go about measuring a 14-foot alligator?
Very, very carefully. I got pictures of sitting on top of Big Al and everything, but that's this time of the year. The metabolism, the heartbeat, everything cut in half, they barely move. So you can do stuff like that. You just got to know when and when you can't do that.
You feed them first and make them happy, then you mess with them.
Exactly. Right?
Fast hands or no hands at all, right?
Eventually they're going to call me Nubby. Hey.
You left.
Alligator?
Big gator.
Yeah.
Some decent gator. On the mark, on the left. Yeah.
Swat. You get down, let him go up. Get down, Dad. Hey, buddy. Oh, now I'm on it too late. He's gone.
That was a big form raise. If you notice the notches in the tail, that was a form raised gator that was released back into the wild. They notched the tail, and they put a metal tag on the web in between the toes on both back feet. That way later on in life, they learn how much they've grown, how far they traveled. When we harvest that gator, they'll open him up, see what he's been eating. If you got Nutrifur in the stomach, they learn a lot about alligators through that return program.
We had a nutria that was hanging over here with a white back, but he might have ate him.
That was dinner, huh?
Yeah, he might have ate him, yeah. Little babies on your left. Big Al probably in that same area is probably just in the mud, because that female being in the water there, that means that the Al was probably in the mud too. You'll see some little baby alligators on your left up ahead.
Watch, put him in a tree.
That's it.
Yeah, we're right there.
Right where that ribbon is, that's where the hole is in the levee. It just burnt this marsh right here yesterday. Little gator right in front of you.
Talking about the holes in the levee, alligators don't actually hibernate. They do what's called burnmate. Once the temperature drops below, 65 degrees, they'll actually go in a real dormant state. The heart rate slows down, the metabolism slows down. It's like they're barely alive. They don't require a lot of food. What they do is they find a nutria hole, typically in the levees, because nutrias burrow into the levees. They'll go in there, waddle that out, bring the babies in there, and they'll stay there all throughout the winter. They kind of sink down and waddle down in that mud and helps insulate, helps keep them warm. like I said, everything slows down. But if we get a good, a couple, 2, 3 days or a week of good warm weather during the wintertime, the sun's out. That's why, like we saw the big gators earlier, they'll actually come out and lay on the banks, and that real dark skin, the sun beats on that. The bumps on the back, those are called osteoderms. Each one is an individual piece of bone. It's almost like solar panels. The sun beats on that, helps warm their body. Then they'll get more and more active. Their heart rate speeds up. If it stays warm long enough, then they'll start feeding.
He's starting to sound like my cousin Gordon. You think he's a biologist or something?
But typically, once it takes about 2 weeks of 70-degree plus weather in the springtime.
He sound pretty sharp, though.
Yeah, he's talking some crap, man.
Then all your alligators will come out of hibernation, and they'll start feeding and breeding and they're active for the season, for the rest of the year.
When I take producers out for filming and stuff, they like this little area right here because they got a little levee right there where they can put the film crew and everything, and they use this cypress background right there. I've shot quite a few things back here already.
As he said, all these trees, those all
I shot 3 music videos in 1 month.
The bald cypress.
One religious, one not so religious, and one really not so religious.
Louisiana State tree. Pick up the eggs last year, so they got a lot of little ones right now.